All right. We got a little bit less than 3 minutes until the close, so we'll take a look at where the Qs and SPY finish up. Pretty narrow range day, kind of just chopping back and forth today. And what we saw this morning for the first few minutes ended up being what was going to be the case for the rest of the day because it definitely was a choppy morning. All right, so we'll go over that and we'll go over the plays from today. Let's get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for February 28th, 2022. Qs up 0.25. SPY, however, down 0.34. IWM up 0.44. So we talked about coming into today. We didn't get really a clean pivot to work with as far as this hourly trend, when it was going to end the downtrend and go into an uptrend. All right, so it just was a very bullish 2-day rally. Okay, and then now you can see we're kind of basing more towards the top end of that rally. We were gapping down more in the pre-market, but the Qs and SPY were able to erase that gap, and so it was only gapping down about 1%. And then actually you can see the Qs have gone up on the day. So here's my read for the rest of this week. And because I'm going to be referencing the weekly, probably the rest of the month, what we have here is a weekly buy setup. Now, the weekly buy setup, a little bit deep. The weekly uptrend is broken, but you can see we do have support there to the left. So this weekly trying to move back up, combined with the hourly trying to transition higher, especially on a breakout over the high from today. So going into tomorrow over today's high, I'm going to be bullish. Okay, the one time frame that is clearly in conflict with the bullish bias is the daily. Now the daily, you can see, is technically still in a downtrend. If we go underneath today's low, that's a sell setup. Okay, and we saw this double top and we've been downtrending. We're still coming off of the recent new lows. So we do have a little bit of time frame conflict. I'm going with the hourly and the weekly to set my bias. Now the hourly does need to trigger over today's high, but the weekly, you can see, already has that bit of a bounce there, the bottoming tail. We've broken above that high. Okay, so bullish over today's high. All right, on the Qs and SPY. All right, let's get into the plays from today. We are about to close, so it doesn't look like Qs are necessarily going to break out today, but over today's high going into tomorrow, that will be where we start the bullish bias. All right, starting off the VTRS. I like this gap a lot. That was a pretty good gap, and just didn't give an entry. Just did not give an entry. As a high-low, to have a wide range red bar, I thought, for me, that's too aggressive to play just as a high-low, although it would have worked great. But that's, too aggressive for me. That's not my play. But really like the gapping underneath the green bar, able to clear. Surprised that it got through all of that support, but that's why, we play these things on the day that they gap and the day that they get all this momentum, because they can just keep on going. And I'm sure, ATR and all of the, kind of things that are more relevant to an average day for this VTRS, none of that, I think, really played a part in today's move. All right. So no play on the VTRS. And then the MULN, we played twice. All right. So here's the first play on the MULN. Played it as an opening base breakout here, like that it's transitioning on the daily there. Base breakout. Didn't work. All right. First play out of the gate. First play today. It was up like half an hour, so not much. And then stopped out. Okay. Now, as it was stopping out, I was saying, you know what, if it moves back up and gives us a base, I'm willing to play it again because I like the daily a lot. And that's always the case with my trading, is that the daily comes first. A lot of things will put in really pretty patterns here and there, but what I care about most is, does the larger picture, larger time frame suggests that today something important might happen. Then for me, then I go look for the entry. And the entry for me is more just a timing mechanic, more as a way to tell me here's when I get in, here's where I put my stop. Not so much the entry as defining the play as a good play. What I really want to see out of a good play is this ending that downtrend. And we finished up the day. We looked at a few of these that have kind of been doing the same thing. SIO was one, which that one didn't work all that well. I think it only got to like an hour and a half, and then ended up didn't make anything on that. STRN, as small as this bar looks, actually was still a 2-hour play. So you can see a clear downtrend and trying to gap up. So really these have not been that great. I've tried the IMPP, but on the day, this one kind of got away from me. Never got it on the days that it really, really worked. The hook is another one. Hook was one that played it on this day and then played it again on this day. And then really the biggest move I think was on this day, but didn't catch it on that day. So, these, they haven't been easy. Okay, they have not been easy, but it's always that reward to risk potential. Now on this MULN, while this bar is not gigantic, if you want to see a gigantic bar, you can look at the GMPX, which ended the downtrend and then just completely exploded. Right, so this was I think 12, 13 Rs. I think max on that. The MULN max was about 8. So yeah, and that was because of the size of the stop. So let's go back to this. So we did try it once. Okay, tried it first at the open. Didn't work. I said, okay, if it kind of stabilizes, gives us another base, we can play it. We eventually did get one right here. So these were the, this was the play right here. 105 by the low of the day. Okay, so that was the play. And then actually could have added. I did not over this space. Could have added to it. Okay. So then we did get to the new highs and had a decent run. I said, let's go ahead and trail some. Okay, there. That was, I think, because at that time, it was just a lot of 2-minute bars in a row when I said, let's go ahead and trail some. Yeah, it was just like multiple 2-minute bars in a row. We were up like an hour and a half, a little bit shy of 2 hours. And then eventually we got past the 2 hours. Okay, and took another quarter. And the last quarter came out basically during lunch here. Okay, so that was the last piece on the MULN. Could have held some into the end of the day. Ended up going all the way up to 195, and then you see the hourly trail under there. Okay. So yeah, so I mean that's why I had someone, I think when I played the IMPP last, and I think it was on this day, and it didn't work. Someone mentioned, yeah, these haven't been working all that well, and I said, yeah, they haven't, not as well as I would have liked, but because they have that such a high reward to risk potential, I'm gonna keep playing them because you can get one and just erases 3 or 4 of them, or hopefully you don't need 3 or 4 to erase, but we looked at a bunch that I showed you just earlier, IO, the STRN, the hook as well, and you're gonna get a little bit of different things. Like one of, like I said, one of them was break even, one of them made about 2 Rs, another one lost an R, but then so those actually kind of cancel each other out, and then you get these big ones, which we trailed the last piece around 4 Rs, so I think all in all it was like around 2 something Rs, 2 plus 2.5, something like that, and with a max potential of 8, so it wasn't even like we were in it for even most of the move. So but they always have that potential. Okay, so that's why I like going after these, and I'll give them a shot because just some of these really end up being some really big plays, especially with the tight stops. Okay, all right, so hope you had a good start to the week. I didn't think there was all that much out there today, but we still have a good amount of earnings left this week, so maybe we'll get some decent gaps before the week is over. Market is still a big focus, obviously, with macro news going on, so that can definitely change things and increase the volatility, so we'll keep an eye out for that. All right, so bullish over today's high on the Qs and SPY going into tomorrow. and then we'll see what we get. All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of the day.